Hi, my name is Sam, and I'm going to share a little bit of my testimony with you and what God has done for me and what He continues to do for me. I don't share my testimony that often. I actually just started sharing it about 1.5 years ago. I used to be always really ashamed of the things I had done and the things I had gone through. And God really just spoke to me about 1.5 years ago and said, you know, I've brought you out of addiction and I've brought you out of so many different things. And how do people know what I've done for you and know who you are today if you don't share where you were and what I've brought you out of? So it's still really hard for me. I always feel like it's just really hard to share that with people. And so this is probably only about my maybe third time. All that to say, I am 40 years old and I am a recovered addict. I was addicted to opioids, which is pretty much pills, for a little over 12 years. So from the time I was 19 to about 32. And when I didn't have the pills, I would do any other drug that was around or that I could get a hold of. I was in abusive relationships, and I knew God, but I wasn't giving my life to Him. I wasn't surrendering to Him, and I wasn't living for Him. I knew that God was always with me in my darkest moments. I knew that He was there, and I knew that He could hear me, and I knew that He just needed me to come to Him and to just knock on that door, and He was just waiting for me. All that to say, I woke up one day in the middle of a really bad neighborhood. And I say that because I could go knock on any door and get any drug. And I opened my eyes, didn't even get out of bed. And I asked the Lord to deliver me from those drugs. That I never wanted to take another pill again. And I can honestly say that I never had to go personally through a rehab or any kind of programs. That day when I asked God with my whole heart to deliver me and take those away from me, He did just that. He took that craving and all that away from me. And I was able to go through, the detox and things like that. And He had aligned everything for me. He had already had that path and that plan for me and surrounded me with the people to help me and to care for me and my child in my home at that time. And then I went through sobriety. The first year was pretty foggy. You really don't realize what you're in until you get out of it, and it takes a really long time to kind of like get clarity and get your mind right. And I had given my life back to Christ and was living for Him, and it just seemed like I was still, I was going through homelessness and abusive relationships still in my sobriety, still serving God and just taking, one step at a time. And that's not everybody's story. Not everyone just gets to wake up one day and get delivered from drugs. You can. I know that in my heart that He cast those as far as from the east as to the west, and He told me that. but there are, I'm a very small percentage. I feel like there are a lot of people that have to go through rehabs and take maybe longer or different roads than I did. But I say all that to say that, you know, God was waiting for me to come out of that. He was always right there, and I give him all the glory for that, because I know that if I didn't have him, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And the people, like I said, and the things that he aligned in my life at that time. So that's a major part of my story. One that I definitely felt shame for a long time, because I was a mother of a young child, and thank God that she wasn't old enough to remember any of that. And I felt God tugging on my heart and telling me, you know, it's time to live a different life. And all that to say, fast forward now, 8 years later, and I am still living for God. I know that there's no way I can do anything without him. Not just my sobriety, but even in my daily life with working and raising my child, and just anything that I do. You know, there's just a lot that I know that he has helped me with. Times he's put food on the table, or he's paid an electric bill. You know, times that he has healed my brother from a terminal cancer. Just seeing God physically